You ain't nothing but a liar. Make sure I get the stream up and head away, head away, head away. You know, go. You know what word that is. Fill in the blank. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the penultimate round of FPRL Season 8. Interlagos. It needs no explanation, but it's had plenty of title deciders in the past. Tonight could be no different because the man in the Red Bull, Radical, if numbers are correct and things go their way, they can seal the title tonight. And a man who's not won a race in 3 years picks up a championship crown. Not a bad way to introduce yourself. A bit like how we're going to introduce our co-commentators tonight, yes. Because the usual partnership of myself and Monkey Boy Kurt.
Good evening, everyone. I hope we're all doing fantastically well tonight. Hope it's going to be a cracking penultimate race this season. Will we see Radical take this Drivers' Championship? We'll have to wait and see. But obviously, we've got another third person in the comms box tonight.
Hi, hello. I've invaded the comms box.
Yep, Monkey Boy Kurt and Silverside Boy joining me in the commentary box tonight, as it looks like there's been a bit of a poor start there for Magic Ram, and that's what how do I say it? That is what full traction will not do, because that is probably the worst start possible for the Ferrari driver. And G Undisputed retiring in the pit lane due to the fact that they checked in late, as per lead rules. They will start from the back, but Jay's run a form recently. I wouldn't worry too much about that. As who have we got going to start a lap? That is an Alpine, and that is Rainbow. So we'll jump over to the Alpine tonight and see what it's like. A bit deep though at the CNSs for turn 1, and then I'll need to actually put a track map up, to be fair, for myself. As Nigel, good evening. What was that? What was that Nigel said in our Twitch chat? It says, "Hello, Dooney." Okay.
Rooney Rooney.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, hello Nigel. I need to look up the Brazil track map. But we're still going to follow Rainbow. And I think Sector 2, if I'm correct. David Lawface, I know you're listening and I know that you're watching. It's your favourite corner on any F1 game. I do not quote this corner, but it's a certain object. I'll say that.
Monkey might know.
Still get the track map up. I'm very professional here, ladies and gentlemen.
If you want to know what it's
There we go.
called, it's a very funny name we've called for it. You have to go back to the previous Brazilian streams to find out what it is.
Yeah, you can find them on our YouTube channel, FP Racing League. As Rainbow sets a 1:12.3, certainly room for improvement there for the Alpine driver. So you're going to go for another lap immediately, a much better turn 1. So that's the Senna S's, and that might be an invalidation, is an invalidation. Sheriff Woody into the 108s, and that's the Retroposta down to Sino Del Lado. There we go. That's Novus on a 108.4. Who else we got on a lap? That's Sid Sandwich setting a 109.1. Wizard of Oz diving out the way there with everyone else. Let's see what JSY can do. A driver who's his fair share of zero luck in the season. All looked good around Baku, but it just fell apart towards the end. And Jay gets a 109.1 just behind Sid Sandwich in third. So as the opening exchanges roll in, we're seeing the usual suspects of qualifying at the top, a couple yet to begin, but both of the Red Bulls and Panic N for that matter, not on track so far.
Yeah, well, that's a very good start for Novus. It has to be said, a 108.4 in Tier 3. I think that's going to be definitely a time that's going to be up there for the well, potentially for pole position. I reckon he can probably further improve on that. He's got 2 more runs potentially left in the tank as well. We've got a few more people coming across the line now. Here comes one of the Haas drivers. That's the Wizard of Oz, and looks like he's invalidated. So we'll go to the tatted start. He's invalidated as well. So, and we've also got, who's just coming through now? Doesn't look like anyone's really on a fast lap at the moment, so there's still plenty of drivers left to set laps. All just starting. We've got a new driver in the ranks tonight with Destroyer. Let's see what he can do in the Aston Martin tonight. So should hopefully Be looking for a good first race for him. Oh, he gets a big snap there, oversteer, and that is not going to do him any favours. As Button goes up now into pole with a 1:08.4, beating Nova Solaga by 0.003 of a second early on in this qualifying session.
Expect Button to be up at the head of the field as Destroyer has invalidated on the run up to the line. No battery, but it's going to go for another run. The Tattoo Star going to go for their run as there's a Mercedes part going around Medulio. There we go. And then the final corner of Junshao. There we go. I'm totally not looking down at my phone, learning all the corner names, just I should know off the top of my head by now. Professionalism. But the Tattoo Star, Yun Alpine, as there's a Ferrari just keeping out the way. Tattoo Star goes ahead of their teammate Rainbow up to 8th. Magic Ram, that's not really the start of a lap that you want. But Locker missed out last time out due to other prior plans. But he's back on track for the Red Bull team, and yeah, well, so I did say prior plans, but of course moving house, so we'll say that. Finally getting the Wi-Fi hooked up and is back on track. Wizard was still yet to set a lap time, I think. Is just ahead of Locker on track, so we'll see these two setting their lap within a few seconds of each other. Radical's on their out lap, just starting their lap there on the mini-map. So let's see what he can do. Panic End heading down the Retroposta, down to Sino De Laro, and there's Wizard of Oz at the end of Sector 2. Now the final corner of Junshao, the most important corner on this track, because it sets you up basically for the full Sector 3. Foot to the floor, rinse the battery, use the DRS, and take the shortest run you can up to the line. Wizard of Oz is not in a challenge Button, but it's going to put him up ahead of Locker into 9th place. So there's a few more drivers yet to set their laps. That's going to be Magic Ram next, but this will be their flying lap. We've got Panic End just ahead is JSY now in the 1:08.2. So we'll see what Panic End can do for the remainder of the run, and then last up is Radical. So Panic End, one of the challenges tonight for Radical, but crucially too, we didn't mention this yet, the Flow is not competing and is currently second place in the standing. So Panic End is in with a good chance at sealing second place overall, but ideally wants to go one better and go much better than 7th. Last up for the first exchanges is going to be Radical on a set of mediums, getting a feel for the track, not going to be up the top, and it's 12th place for Radical. I'm expecting a big improvement for Radical, to be fair, because a medium run at this early, it's certainly getting a feel for the track, I feel.
We got a few donations, by the way. Not donations, but like redemption
incentives. Channel point incentives. Oh dear.
I don't know if you've mentioned the update. Or, I don't know. I walked off, went to the toilet while you were doing that little monologue with you. But obviously today there was a update for the game. I think the Ferrari powered cars sound different. So Haas and Ferrari sound completely different. They sound a little bit more bassy. So that'd be a bit weird for you, Monkey, on the Wednesday. Listen to myself on Thursday. But yes, I think you might notice that some of the cars might have different side pods. I think there's going to be different T-cam positions, like stickers everywhere. But yeah. We should. I think. Oh, what's rather close. I think on the Ferrari it's the most noticeable with that new side pod design.
As Nigel has used his channel points, and you've picked your poison of a truth or dare. Silverside Boy has said truth, and Nigel has indeed asked the question of what is the most embarrassing thing that you have done whilst at work?
Most embarrassing thing I've done at work.
Shat himself.
No, actually not. This is when I used to be a picker. I asked the woman how far she was along, and it just turned out she was just fat. Very embarrassing. Yeah, very embarrassing. I had to apologise. Bright red in the face.
Dear, oh dear, Gary, putting your foot right in it there.
Yeah, I did put my foot right in it. It's not good. Magic Ram's not. Meanwhile, whoever.
I suppose if you dip your toe in, you might as well take a dive, you know.
Oh.
As Nova Suaga right in the boundaries of the 107s. It's a 108.073 for the Salva. Gets him onto provisional pole. And Nigel has requested a Darth Vader impression from myself.
I don't know if we can do that after James L. Jones sadly passed away last week.
Well, to be fair, there is only one Darth Vader, and to be fair,
I think Monkey's got the deepest voice.
Is this now a bad time to say I've never watched a single Star Wars film?
No, because I've only watched like one either.
Just straight up. Nope.
You two are the most uncultured swines on the planet. How?
I've never watched a Star Wars film. Never saw Back to the Future. Never saw a Marvel film. I've never. What else?
Get out.
What's a major franchise? I've never seen Jurassic Park. We are golden. I've got all the pitchforks aimed at my windows.
What the hell have you been doing? You've not watched a Jurassic Park.
Just to point out that obviously the one more important thing that we've all been doing is obviously being very interested. Oh, and everyone's crashing into turn 1 here. We got Magic Ram off and Panic End with both wing damage. I was going to say that we're all heavily invested in this Tier 3 championship, which is far more important than all those film franchises.
Absolutely.
I don't know. This could become this could become a movie franchise this season.
Well, it could do. We're going to be in for a cracker, I reckon, tonight. Obviously, with Radical going for this title win, with everyone else from about 2nd down to 8th has a chance of still winning this championship with 2 rounds to go. There's still a lot of times, I think, that are going to be coming down here. Everyone in the 109s, I think, are going to improve. So be interesting to definitely see what they can do. But yeah, a few spinners there. Magic Ram and Panic End. They're going to have to get back into the pits quickly. Just trying to see now. Here comes Destroyer on another lap. He's obviously made a mistake on that one, so he's going to go once again. But I said Nova Swaga, the first lap he did was a 108.4. He's now on a 108.0 with Button. Potentially, we could see the Sauberman on pole here, but we know how good Button has been in qualifying all season. And I think Jay will be very, very much kicking himself that he's missed a check-in tonight. As it says in the chat that he can do a 178 round here, which would put him on pole right now if he was to do that. But unfortunately, he's starting at the back because he got a quali ban.
Yeah, I suppose that's what you get for missing your cue for the check-in, I suppose. We're going to follow Destroyer for the remainder of their run. Both of the Red Bulls are on their outlaps. Wizard of Oz expect to improve from 11th place. Driver has had a half-decent run of form in the championship, but Button right behind Novus. He was 3 thousandths ahead after the first run. After the second run, he's 4 thousandths behind. But Button, one thing I will commend him though, his qualifying pace has been nothing short of phenomenal. Just hasn't quite worked for the race. But Destroyer, this is looking a little bit quicker here for the Aston driver. It was quicker, but not enough to improve from 10th. So I think as it stands right now, he'll be satisfied with that for his opening gambit in Tier 3. And I know you mentioned earlier about us mentioning major movie franchises. Tier 3 has been nothing short of cinema, because if I'm correct, 7 different drivers winning in 8 races. We've had a championship leader change on 5 occasions. Nothing short of phenomenal. And I think
who knew race winners?
Well, yeah, well, maiden winners. We've had 4 maiden winners in as many races to start. We've had Jay have his first win as well, making it 5. And what else I was going to say? Yeah, secretly, my favourite season to commentate on in the FPRL so far.
Just to come in, boys. Radical's coming through. He's a 2nd up.
That's a good lap. P5.
Oh, he spun it.
And he celebrated. Well, good thing he set his lap before he done that.
He was happy with that. That's him celebrating. I think he hit the outside grass.
His teammate Locker's not having the best day. In fact, actually, I don't know if this Locker's just gone across the start-finish straight for me. But his time got updated about 5 seconds before. So I don't know if that's just me lagging out or. Oh
dear.
Where is he on the track for you, lads?
He's currently heading down towards turn 4.
Yeah, taking turn 4 right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what time is set if he does another lap, because his time updated right about when he was coming through the last corner. So, yeah, not sure about that.
Well, another movie franchise, Back to the Future.
Well, we'll see what happens with Locker towards the end. We've got just under 3 minutes left, so those that are on and then lap better hurry up because they won't get another run in. As there's David Lawface leaving the pits. We've not mentioned David too much. He is still with a chance at taking the crown, but he's going to need quite possibly the best performance of his career to take it to the final round. But don't count out David Lawface, that's all I'm going to say. And actually, yeah, you're right. It says that Locker's in the pits, but he's only just entering the pits. So I think Locker might have a small desync issue, or that's on us. I don't know. Anyway, Sid Sandwich getting ready to go again, and crucially, Panic End up to the line. It's going to improve ahead of the Tattoo Star. So Panic End's in 7th, Radical's in 5th. And currently, Novus and Button still clear at the front.
Yeah, I think there might be a bit of a desync issue here. I don't know if you lads, if you go down to David and then try to flick up, you can't flick up to Locker, or I personally can't anyway.
Yeah, I can't flick up to him as well.
Oh, he hasn't left. Let's get him back in. You should be alright.
Sorry, I've just got a bit distracted. I'm buying football tickets, so there's a reason why I'm missing the WR round at the final race of the season.
Are you going to abandon me? Oh, that's
yes, I'm going to abandon you. Enjoy Suzuka.
Oh, Suzuka's great on this game. Monkey loves that track.
Yeah, to be fair,
when he doesn't bottle it.
But yeah, Garrett, you know fine well the European nights come first, because I want to see us get battered by everyone the same way I saw us get battered off Liverpool.
I'm sorry,
years ago.
Monkey.
Yeah, well, at least I've won a race, Gary. That's all I can say. Right. Well, I do like to be fair. I do like
18 minutes. If you had 18 minutes on the I've won a race, Gary, bingo! Congratulations, you've won.
I do like this track as well, to be fair. I'm hoping for a good result on Wednesday. I've now probably jinxed myself. I haven't raced these cars. I haven't raced these cars since the update today, so I have no idea what they're going to be like with the traction. Apparently, people are saying that they're sort of squirming all over the place a little bit. Has anyone sent Locker an invite, just out of curiosity?
I have not. I actually didn't know he left the session. Well, that would explain why he's still in the pits.
He's restarted the Xbox. We'll get him in. Don't worry.
That's fair enough. Well, at least he'd rather do it now than do it before the race starts. At least it doesn't compromise his strategy. But we're going to follow the Wizard of Oz around Sector 2, down in 13th. He needs to get this lap together, and now down to Bito de Pato, the FPRL known corner for a name change. I'm still not going to say, keeping it somewhat PG. And now the final run up towards Junshao. He's up by 3/10 as the checkered flag falls. He's going to need to strap a rocket to that Haas if he's going to get ahead of, dare I say, even Locker himself, because Wizard of Oz is going to find himself mired at the back of the grid for this race. Is he going to break into the 108s? No, he's not. It's 13th for Wizard of Oz. That is a disaster for him. Who else is on a lap? Button is not going to improve despite going faster. Mongrel goes up to 3rd. Panic End's ahead of Radical, who is on their run. He's up minimally through Sector 1, but will go from one Haas to another. Sheriff Woody in towards Sector 2, and now the final real corner on this track. He's up by nothing, really. 26 thousandths of a second, and this never-ending run, foot to the floor, and just absolutely pin it to the line. He's going to look to try and salvage something in this qualifying session for the Haas team. Up to the line for Sheriff Woody, and he's not going to beat Radical. He lost all of his time in the final sector, so now it's all down to the Red Bull, who is down.
He's miles down. He's miles down.
He's going to try and better his time. Not quite, but 6th place for Radical. If you're not going to beat your opponent, you might as well match them. It's 6th place for him. 5th place goes to Panic End. Sheriff Woody, David up to 8th place. Sid Sandwich keeps it in the top 10. But Nova Suada and Button, 4,000 separate them in this qualifying session, and it goes the way of the Sauber.
Yeah, I mean, great end to the session. No one could beat Novus's time though, so a great lap from him. He takes pole position. I think that's his 2nd pole potentially of the season. So very good lap from him. Button 2nd, Mongo 3rd, and JSY in 4th. Championship leader starts 6th. He won't be too disappointed with that. Panic End is his nearest rival with the Flow not racing tonight in 5th. Then you've obviously got Button in 2nd. I don't think he'll be too disheartened with starting 6th. There's a long race to go. I don't know, Gary, if you've got the standings up with you, but I can't remember what Button is on. I know he's not too far behind Panikin, but Button will obviously want to get as many points as possible.
How minute?
Button's currently 5th on 72.
Yes, he's 22 points behind.
Well, safe to say, Button, Oz, and Jay, and even Mongo as well. He's an outsider. All of them need to win the night.
The thing is with Mongo's everyone else from 1st to 6th have done all 8 races. Mongo's only done 4 and is only about 37 points off the championship lead. It just shows how consistent he has been in those 4 races.
He has been very consistent, it has to be said, through the time he's obviously come down from Tier 2. Continues on that form. He'll be going back up again at this rate, but we'll have to wait and see what happens in these final 2 rounds. But Radical has got to, I think, keep his cool, really. That's all he's got to do. He's not got to panic too much. He knows he's got a big lead, and even if he doesn't secure it tonight around Interlagos, as long as he can keep a good advantage going into the final round, and just sort of holds it together. Doesn't even have to fight for the wins. Just, good sort of decent top 5 finishes, top 4 finishes, and he should be okay. But what he doesn't want to do is find himself in a situation where he's spinning out or DNFing, because that puts him make him very, very vulnerable to virtually everyone behind him. But like I said, we've got so many drivers that are still in contention for this championship.
Yeah. So we'll definitely keep an eye on the standings tonight. Even at that, Sheriff Woody has a technical, mathematical chance at winning the title, but he has to basically win and hope everyone else doesn't score to have a chance at that. But 9 drivers with 2 races to go. Just kind of says it all, really, for Tier 3. And what has been quite possibly one of the most frantic seasons we've ever had in FPRL, as Nigel still redeeming drinks for us all. As I see, Destroyer is in the chat. Good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in. Satisfied with their qualifying performance, and JSY has a certain 4-letter word for their qualifying, and all I'm going to say is it's poor. And JSY is not happy, and J Undisputed in the chat too, hoping for better results. But I suppose you start last year, avoid trouble, and towards the Senna S's. But I think really, now we're going to see, I think, some more, say, conservative and a lot more aggressive approaches in this race. Like Button, David, Mongo, their only option right now is to win. But if you're Radical and even at that panic end, you're 17 points behind, but you've got to keep it out of trouble, because this is going to be the make or break race in this championship. I can absolutely guarantee.
Most definitely. From a comms point of view, it's been thrilling. Like you say, one of the best seasons I've witnessed, I would say. And, I've raced a good few seasons in this league, and this has definitely been one of the seasons to remember in the whole of FPRL history. It's just been so tight, so many different people for pole position, so many different winners. But from Gary's point of view, mainly, obviously he's been watching this tier from more of a spectator point of view, most rounds of Tier 3. I don't know if you've been watching most of the races as a spectator, Gary, but would you agree that it's been one of the best seasons that FPRL has sort of seen, really, I guess?
It's been one of the most unpredictable. Because, no offence to the people that are in the championship fight, but I think even Radical will agree. I don't think he expected me with 2 wins, leading the title, championship, and having a big chance to go for it with 1 round to go. I hope that's not offending him, but I think he would probably agree. But yeah, there's quite a few people that I didn't think were going to be up there, but it just shows that in league racing, anything can happen.
Well, what is going to happen is we have a formation lap for the penultimate time in Season 8 for our Tier 3 field, and a predominant yellow wall of tyres, but still a couple of outsiders. Nova Suaria in particular starting on pole, but is on the softs. So that's their intention is clear. They want to run away from that pack behind them. David and the Tattoo Star starting on the hard, Sid Sandwich on the softs. and Rainbow in 15th place on the softs as well. Everyone else on a set of medium tyres. Pardon me. But I don't know what the strategy is around here. If you're on the soft tyres, you're definitely hoping for an early-ish safety car, like lap 7, lap 8 maybe. You start in the hards, you go along and hope things go your way later on. If you're on the mediums, at least you've got some variety. But keep an eye out for Sid at the start, and especially those in the hard compound tyres, how far they drop down. But Sid wants to get ahead of them as quick as they can. And if you're novice, like I said, you absolutely pin it at the start and run away as far away as you can before those soft tyres eventually fall off and plummet down the cliff. But I see Nova's taking this formation lap somewhat quickly here, getting to the grid box already. JSY is just barely going by the pit lane, as we have an audience of one in the Cruiser household. Cruiser Dodo is actually sitting down right in front of the television, watching the cars line up. And I kid you not, actually, you know, I'm gonna take a quick photo of this and post it in our Discord server for those in the league to see. Never mind, he has just jumped up on my lap.
Just quickly before we start, I'm glad you said we got an audience of one in your household. I thought we had an audience of one on the stream for a minute. I thought, well, what's the point of us even streaming this for?
Well, visual bugs, I suppose. But yep, Dodo, I will play later. Right now, it could be a crowning moment for one, but they've got a pack of 8 rabid animals, wolves, whatever you want to call them. The pack is in the hunt for Radical, who starts in the midfield. We have 5 lights at Interlagos, and we are underway for a penultimate time in Season 8. Novus doing exactly what he has to do, and is running away. But Button under pressure from Mondo. JSY to the inside at the Senna S's. Button holds strong to take second place. David Lawface jockeying with a Tattoo Star through the Senna S's. We are multiple cars wide at the exit of the Senna S's, and the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, Destroyer's round.
Spin in the back. Destroyer has been spun. Not sure by who. Radicals at somewhat of a poor start from 6th place down to 11th. Might have damage, or he's just been caught up badly there as he's getting sideswiped there by Wizard of Oz. Magic Tram has to check up, but Radical limiting the damage as best as they can. Sid Sandwich doing what he's had to do at the start and has got ahead of David and the Tattoo Star, but Novus doing what he's had to do as well and has ran away and already looking to break that 1 second DRS gap.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic start for Novus. He's literally got off a line so quickly. 8 is the gap, and he's got the soft tyres now to try and pull away. FPRL Lock has left the session again. This is not what we want to see. But Radical got an absolutely really poor start. I don't know if he got tapped around slightly, but that's not what he wants to see himself, the championship leader in 11th place at the moment with Button in second. He's now got to try and fight his way back, and that's exactly what he's doing now. Back up into the points with an overtake on the Wizard of Oz.
As Wizard of Oz is in the pits, that's going to be wing damage, I'm sure, as JSY getting a terrible line there through the first corner. That's put Panic End all over the back of the Mercedes, as we have DRS already on lap 2 of our race at Interlagos. Down the Rich Raposta. Radical still in 9th place now, getting ahead of the Tattoo Star as Panic End around the outside at Sino Delado, and he's got ahead of Aviation JSY. He's up to 4th place and knows this is the golden ticket to close that gap in the championship. Radical scoring 2 points. Radical is going to be on 96 if I'm correct. I need to get it standing up again real quick. Radical's on 96. Panic End scoring 12. That's going to put him on 90. 6 points the gap as it stands. And we head to our final round next week around Abu Dhabi. As I say, the golden ticket. But who is going to take the golden crown?
Just a quick update for that start. What looks like Radical was pushed wide into the second Senna S's, and that's what it lost him all his places.
He's going to cover a recovery drive of his own as there goes JSY looking to get a move back on Panic End. Mondo gets the squeeze on Button, and Mondo's now up to 2nd place. And Novus, that gap he wanted to try and pull at the start has not worked. He's under increasing pressure from the DRS behind, as there's Mondo looking to make the move into the lead. Down the Retroposta, Novus holds on for the moment as it's Button throwing it in towards turn 4, but Button down only to 1 place, down to 3rd, and Sheriff Woody actually, have a look at this fight. He's just hanging on to the back of JSY, is in towards turn 5 and then turn 6. Sid Sandwich keeping onto the back of this train as well, then a 3 second gap between David and the Hards. and 6 Sandwich on the softs. That DRS train really pulling him along nicely, as Wizard of Oz has called it a day in the pits. They are out of the race on lap 3. So it seems like they have better things to do in this race, as it looks like Rainbow has had some problems there, as Magic Tram has spun again this evening. It's just not been their night for the Ferrari driver at this track, keeping himself to himself, but Locker will need another invite back. Or there he is, he's just joined in, as there's Jay Undisputed from the back of the grid looking to get into the points, challenging a Tattoo Star in towards turn 1. He's going to take the outside line, Tattoo Star defending to the inside line. Further ahead, there's Radical making the move on David Lawface to the inside. There's Jay Undisputed making the move on the outside of the Tattoo Star. Radical up to 8th. Jay Undisputed now up to 10th, as there's a move for the lead here and a battle for the lead involving Mondo and Novus in towards turn 5. Mondo now to the outside line for turn 6 and turn 7. He's now just get the squeeze in the Sauber, and Mondo leads it into Lados. And this is the first time since Monza he's been leading a tier 3 race. Can he now make this one count?
Well, we're hoping to, but it's interesting to see Novus. Look at his fuel light, it's on yellow. He's under-fueled, hoping for a safety car, it looks like, in this race to bring his fuel back underneath what it needs to be. And Wizard of Oz now left the session, but Mongo takes the lead. It looks like now he's starting to even pull that gap already. 6/10 is the gap. Will we see Novus deploy any battery to try and fight back at the Ferrari here? He's got the DRS open as well, and they're coming down to turn 1, and Novus is really trying to get in that slipstream, and he outbrakes himself, and he's got wide, and that's going to let Button through, is it? On the outside of turn 2, and Button swoops through into second place, and Novus now dropping down the order. Here comes Panic N now on the outside of the Kick Sauber, trying to get through now into turn 4. Is the McLaren going to do it on this occasion? No, he's not. But he wanted to try and gain as many places as he can, as well as he knows that Radical is obviously down behind, as he now tries to go down the inside now into this is great racing. But I think Novus probably did get a warning there for going wide at the apex. Mongo does lead the Grand Prix still, but got a bad run out that last corner. Button now only 4 attempts behind. Will he have a go now towards the end part of lap 5? And I think Blocker is left again. I think he's having problems with his internet, clearly, because he just can't seem to stay connected. I'm just wanting to see now. It looks like Button is definitely going to have the lead here. 2 attempts even before the DRS. He's not messing about. And Button knows that he can still win this championship. And he glides past Mongo into first place. And I'm thinking we're just going to be another DRS trainers panicking now. And once again trying to go past on Novus. And he gets that move done eventually up into the podium places.
Vital there for Panic End, and even more important for Button too. Currently 5th in the standings, he still has a chance to win it all, as there was JSY compounding the misery for the Sauber, but Novus holds it round the outside at turn 4. JSY is still there, he's giving him the space. Sauber's giving him a bit of a squeeze there, but Jay around the outside at turn 6, and now turn 7, he's going to get forced onto the curb there by the Sauber, but he's still there, and now has to relinquish that assault. Novus starting to fall down the pack, and there's your answer for how well the softs last around here. The answer, not very long, 5 laps, and they are starting to suffer. Both Novus and Sid Sandwich, who've dropped behind this pack of cars. Radical now 3 seconds behind Sid. He's starting to make inroads and has dropped David Lawface out of the DRS. We're going to follow JSY and Novus for a little bit longer, but Mondo is going to launch a counter-attack against Button and take the lead again. You see him in the background. Button doesn't let him, doesn't fight that battle too much. And JSY now down the inside at turn 1. And Novus, who was leading the race at the start, he started on pole. On lap 7, he's now down to 5th. And this might be a strategic blunder from the Sauber team, but he's going to try and get this place back against Jay. As Edwards panicking down the inside of Button in towards turn 4, and Button now down 2 places in around 4 corners. Panicking is not wasting any time tonight.
Yeah, he's trying to take advantage of Radical being further down the field, obviously. Looks like Panic Ends utilising that flexi rear wing that McLaren in real life have.
Yeah, he needs to make sure it gets him back in the DRS train, but we're going to crunch some numbers again. Radical scoring 4 points currently, is on 98. Panic End scoring 18 points, 96. You'll take from that what you will, a 2-point gap currently, but Button, down in third, is on 87. Mondo, winning tonight, is going to put himself on 82. Still all to play for. We're only on lap 8 as it goes G Undisputed making a move on David Lawface in towards turn 1 again, utilising the DRS, and I think David knows that's not really their fight for tonight. Lets the RB through, and Jay now from last place, 16th for this evening, is up now to 9th.
Yeah, and I think now that Panic End's got to stay with this pack. He doesn't want to do any rash moves. He knows that he's got the advantage on his team, championship rival Radical, who's still in 8th place, and he's a second off Sid Sandwich, so he's not getting any DRS help here. Sid's then obviously a further 3.4 seconds off Sheriff Woody, so Radical is really off this front pack. He really needs to potentially do an alternate strategy here to maybe bring himself back into the fight, because at the moment I can't really see him gaining much more than the 8th place. Maybe he'll go past Seed into 7th, but other than that, I don't really know where he's going to gain as Rainbow gets a 3-second penalty. Are we going to see a move to the lead as Mongo, I think he's a bit too far ahead this occasion, but will get it down to about half a second. But he's obviously got the DRS coming up now between turn 3 and 4. Does he get a good run out of turn 2? The answer is he's within half a tenth, and I don't think on this small straight he's going to be close enough to overtake on this occasion. Panic End also needs to make sure he stays within the second barrier. He's just dropped out of it. It's now 1.1 seconds to Button for him.
Zero's Radical make the move on 6am, which said not fighting that too hard. Knows his tyres are starting to fall off, and is just hoping now for any form of safety car, or even a virtual safety car, to make that pit stop. But Radical now 7th place, and is now the first driver as it stands to hit the century. 100 points for the Red Bull driver, but Panic End still in 3rd, but is under increasing pressure from JSY and Nova Suwada and Sheriff Woody. All 4 of those drivers are still in their own little DRS quartet, but Mondo and Button now starting to break away from Panic End. 1.6 seconds between them, as now going to exchange another lead of the race. Button ahead of Mondo and towards turn 1, and these two, I think, trying to make this a 2-horse race for this evening, as Panic End's got his eyes set behind them, because there's JSY looming large. The Mercedes holding on well. Sheriff Woody's just dropped out of DRS, but Radical, he needs to hope, at least for his sake, the cars ahead start to fight, but Mondo and Button are still fighting, and Mondo retakes the lead. So Mondo and Button trying to slingshot each other, but I think both of them are two sides of the same coin. Mondo wants to keep the lead, Button wants to pull away.
Just saw Sid Sandwich try and go back on Radical into turn 4. He did have to go off because he outbraked himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's still on those softer tyres, so he might have a little bit more performance in some corners, but I think overall he's not going to have the performance anymore. Obviously, we're on lap 10 of this race. I think those soft tyres probably won't go a lot.
He's just lost it up the hill. He hit the grass on the exit and he's lost the place to Sheriff Woody.
Bent from bad to worse for him. Here comes Button again down the inside. And I think he almost hit the grass there. I thought it was going to fly off, but he keeps the lead. But look at the switchback there from Mongo. Straight through. There's a retirement on track there.
Gone.
And it's a
That's
safety car.
That's safe.
And that is what Novus and Sid were begging for.
Wow.
Magic Ram losing it at turn 4, and he is slammed into the wall and is checked out of this race. But Button defending just about around the centre S's to maintain the lead over Mondo. And that gap that the top 6 built up is now going to be wiped out. Radical's now back in the mix as well as Jay. He's up in 7th place now. But the Tattoo Star and David Lawface, this is not what you were hoping for. So either now you try and keep out on 10 lap old hards, or you try and manage mediums to the end. And I think really, you don't really have a choice in this matter. I think really you need to pit Locker's, well, I suppose whatever's left of Locker's internet, can make the pit stop and probably don't a set of soft snow in Codemasters. But still, the safety car is going to bring the pack a lot closer and give us a bit of a breather in this race. Been non-stop overtaking, and yeah, let's reflect.
Well, I mean,
the top eight
are 8 different constructors. So, what a fantastic race this is turning out to be. As everyone's into the pits now, we'll go down to Gary Kravitz in the pits. What can you tell us, Gary?
I don't know. Monkey. Looks like everyone is just coming in to basically go for that one stop. Probably to try and get the hards to the end, because I know hards do not wear at all around here. At all. It's like Azerbaijan, there literally is no tyre wear whatsoever. But yeah, Novus is going a set of mediums. So I wonder if that's him committing to a 2-stop. David's obviously going to have to do the 2-stop as well. Tattoo Star actually stayed out on its set-off. Didn't come in. Yeah, some people are changing over to 2-stop, and some people are going to try and go to the end. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll have to see.
Well, seems like Tattoo Star's committed to go quite long in this race, or maybe hope something else happens later on. But Novus, and Sid Sandwich for that matter, not losing too much ground as the RBs drop back ahead of Radical. David's hand was forced to go to a set of medium tyres. Novus and a set of mediums. Going to be non-stop tyre management, I fear, for the Sauber driver, unless something happens later on. Destroyer and Rainbow, both of them stayed out, but they did pit beforehand, so they should be okay to go to the end.
I'm surprised Destroyer didn't box, because he got a 10-second time penalty for speed just before the safety car. He hasn't come in to serve it. I would assume that why he hasn't served it just to get rid of that time. He easily could just go in, get it done, change to another tyre, and then come back on those hards if he so wishes.
Do the lights always flash on the safety car? Or is that just me?
Yes. They go out when the safety car's coming in.
You know, that's actually new to me.
If you actually watch real Formula 1 races, Cruiser, you know this.
Mate, I don't watch Formula 1 for a disco. I watch it to see cars go around the track.
If you spend less time watching Rangers and the Scottish Premier League, you would know about the safety car lights.
Hi Nigel. Dundee United are terrible.
Talking about.
We beat Dundee United at the weekend. And it got me a reprimand for calling out the stewards.
Well, we see Rainbow go past there. Somehow got a 3-second penalty. Did he cut the last corner or something? I'm not sure.
So a little update. You see Walker coming out the pits. That's Walker's race is done. He has said that he's joining. Well, when he gets control, he's coming straight back into the pits and retiring.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Radical going solo then it seems for the Red Bull team.
I think because someone said it. His engineer's asked if he's lagging. Doesn't seem like it is, but he keeps getting disconnected. So
yeah, I think it's probably best for him, to be fair. The safety car's going to go around for one more lap. Destroyer did come in and deserve his penalty, but mediums, they ain't going to go at the end. Will he now come back in and get on the hards and then re-catch up? I don't know. But still, once again, we look from first to ninth, 9 different constructors in that top 9. It's very rare that you see that. We're almost just one short of the full 10 constructors being in the top 10, one of each, which would be brilliant. So Destroy, if you can get yourself up to 10th, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. There's Locker back in the pits. As Destroyer is now back in the hards he was originally on. It would be a very F1 thing though that he gets rid of the 10 seconds just to get it back.
Hey,
no offense,
sounds like
it would be a very F1 move.
So Cruiser, your favourite person's in the chat, by the way, mate.
Yeah, hi Drownsy. If you guys want to know why I'm a bit obsessed, or rather hope that Drownsy doesn't talk to me for much longer, check out our last week's race around the Circuit of the Americas. They'll be on our YouTube channel, FP Racing League, and might as well say as well, all of our races are streamed on twitch.tv/FP Racing League. Be sure to hit that follow button, support the brand. We're on our way to 1,000 followers and taking over the world.
Also,
if you guys want to
watch his race live, go to his personal channel.
Yeah, a bit like all of us, we always stream our races in F1. But still, FPRL Discord. Nightbot will drop a link to our Discord server. Like now, saying like what you see. Jump in on our F1 Discord server, click the link, complete the sign up steps, and you'll get in for the build up to season 9 ? And no shortage of ways to connect as well through our social media, as I say, our YouTube channel, FP Racing League, and our Twitter. X, formerly Twitter, I should say, Fair Play RL.
There's actually Monkey Talk through there to answer questions on there.
No, he is not. And Groundsey's saying, to be fair to myself and Groundsey, judging the Perez and Sainz crash Codemasters Physics models is spot on. Again, yeah, I'm going to refrain from comment, but if only we were driving the Ferrari and the Red Bull, that would have been a very accurate crash. Just hook the tyres and you go in the wall. I'm still annoyed. Anyway, we get back on the way. Lap 15 of this Tier 3 Brazilian Grand Prix. The Tattoo Star leading on at the restart, looking to try and hold a lap in the lead is the Alpine driver, but Button, and there's Mondo and Novus on the fresh mediums, looming large behind the Alpine, who's going to lead in towards turn 4. Mondo to the outside of Button, gets the squeeze there, does the Ferrari. Button holds on for the moment. As a look through the mid-pack, David holding on against J Undisputed, Rainbow dropping down behind Locker, and Locker there getting out of the way. That is going to be, true to his word, that is going to be the retirement for the Red Bull driver. And the Constructors' Championship for them is going to take a big hit tonight as it stands, as there's Novus getting ahead of Mondo on those medium tyres, but he's going to need to hope things go his way later on, because 22 laps on the tyres at racing speed. Good luck to you, Sauber.
Yeah, it's looking like Novus is obviously on the fresher tyres with the mediums, but once again I think it's going to be a situation where they're just going to wear off again like the Softs did earlier on for him. He's going to try and have a go at Button, is he? Here comes Button on the Tattooed Star. Is he going to have a go into turn 1? Oh no, Novus is going to have a go instead, rounding outside of Button, and he now takes P2, and now Mongo's going to have maybe a look at the inside of Button as well to try and take P3. On this occasion, I think he's now got the slipstream as well. Here comes Novus on the Tattooed Star. Can Novus get himself up into the lead? Yes, he can. And here comes Mongo as well, down the inside of Button. They're going side by side now through turn 4 into turn 5, and Mongo up into P3. I have to say, the Tattooed Star's done quite well to stay in second after a lap and a half, to be fair.
Well, he's on 11 lap older tyres to everyone else, but he's still holding his own. And one thing about the Tattoo Star, he always gives his all in the race. As we'll jump now back towards Radical. I know we keep going back to him, but we keep an eye on him throughout the evening. He's got ahead of Sid Sandwich now, up to 8th place, and is right on the back, literally, of JSY, who himself is all over the back of Sheriff Woody. And still, it's 9 constructors. If Destroyer can get ahead of Jay here, we're going to have 10 constructors in the top 10. Say it ain't possible, as Rainbow has spun at Bico de Pato down at turn 10. Not ideal, as Mondo makes the move on to Tattoo Star up to turn 1, easy as you like, and it's now second place for Mondo. There's a lock up there from Novus, and a 3-second penalty for Novus. Oh dear.
I'm looking around here. Aviation has been overtaken by Radical. Radical's up the 7th now, as Aviation goes wide and gets a penalty for it.
Well, that's not ideal there for JSY. He's under pressure from Sid Sandwich, doing to him what he'd done earlier in the race. Trying to go around the outside at turn 6 and turn 7. As there's a car in the draft. That's Sheriff Woody getting a massive snap of oversteer, caught in the corner, and somehow not getting a 3-second penalty. As that's now promoted J to 7th, JSY to 7th, J Undisputed to 8th, Sid Sandwich to 9th, and Sheriff Woody, who was up in 6th, now down in 10th, and that's another place gain for Radical. And now next up for him is quite possibly the most important overtake in his FPRL career.
Yeah, he'll have to try and now definitely get past Panic. Has he got the pace? Though Panic will have the pace on the Tattooed Stars in front of him, and they both overtake the Tattooed Star with ease now. The Tattooed Star's not putting up any fight. He knows those tyres are gone. And Radical goes around the outside up to P5 now as the championship leader. This is the kind of position he wants to find himself in. And now he needs to try and get ahead of his two rivals, which are Panic End and Button. He's only 1 and 2 places off them, which is the strongest position he's been in all race. And now he's just got to try and push on. Nova Suaga 2 seconds ahead now of Button. He is on those medium tyres and has that 3-second penalty to his name. So Button is the net leader. He's now overtaking Mongo once again. And Mongo, I think these two are going to fight it for quite a while, and that's going to bring Panic In and Radical into the fight as well. We could definitely see a very interesting second half of this race as we're now just over halfway. And Jay's also come up from 8th now. He's into 8th place from the back of the grid, so he's not having a bad race himself either.
Never say never for Jay Undisputed. That's all I'll say on that. Still in with a chance at his title, but is currently on 74 points. As it stands, that will be game over for the RB driver. He has to beat Radical tonight to take this to the final round and take his title ambitions to Abu Dhabi as well. As Edo's panicking, not having a DRS. Radical is got the DRS. He dared look around the outside towards turn 1. Radical knows this is important for the series. Panicking holds on for the moment, but it's not yet the DRS again. Button gets ahead of Mondo, and Mondo will no doubt return the favour, using that battery, using the DRS, and is going to say, thank you very much, I'll have that back. Like I say, 9-10 laps ago, these two picking up where he left off, and Mondo now going a bit wide there at the exit of turn 5. That might be a slap in the wrist there for the Ferrari driver. By that I mean a warning for track limits. 2.5 seconds now between Mondo and Nova Suaria, but Nova's on that 3-second penalty and on the medium compound tyres. Might need to manage them for a lot longer in this race.
Yeah, don't also forget about the Constructors' Championship as well. Obviously, Williams are on top with 149 points. Red Bull 135, Haas 120. So there's still a Constructors to go, and at the moment, all 3 of those Constructors have only got 1 driver in the points. At the moment, but it looks like Williams are going to extend it. But yeah, that could go down to the wire as well.
Oh! As I look in the background, there's Radical going around the outside of Panic End. Panic End letting him through there. Radical going deep at turn 1. But regardless, that is the move he had to make. But he's now got to try and catch up to Button and Mondo, who are trying to slingshot each other away as Radical holds on. So that's now 4th place now for the Red Bull, and crucially ahead of his closest contender in the championship. JSY and G Undisputed now right behind the McLaren, but 1.6 seconds between Button and Radical. Can the Red Bull get back in DRS range?
I think that definitely time penalties could play a factor here. I know that none of those lot have got it yet, but we've still got a long way to go in this race. There's 16 laps still, and I think it's just once again going to come down to potentially a game of who can stay within the white lines for as long as possible in this race. Panic End now will be all over Radical. Radical needs to get a good run out of the last corner and hasn't got a fantastic one, it has to be said. So here comes Panic End. Surely now is going to have to go for the overtake. Overtake's on, the battery's on. He's going to have a go into turn 1. Radical defends, and Panic End says, I'm going to go even wider into turn 1 and retakes that place. These two are really fighting it out as there's someone off, and I think that's Rainbow getting out of the way of everyone else. But Radical didn't get too much of a good line there through that last corner. Here comes JSY as well on Radical. Is he going to have a go now into turn 4? No, he's not. And just in front of that as well, Mongo and Button still swapping places for 2nd and 3rd. Novus is still now about 3 seconds ahead, but I really doubt that he's going to get those medium tyres to the end of this race.
Still following Button. Not really many close battles on track, but I do see Sheriff Woody holding on to 8th place there with Sip Sandwich, Destroyer and Locker, and David Lawface in that mix as well, the latter of the drivers, down in 12th.
David has damage.
That's not ideal for him, but 3-second penalty too for David. And he's got to manage the mediums like Novus. That gap now 2.8 seconds. So despite the slingshot in here for Mondo and Button, they're not really gaining on Novus. They're more pulling away from Panic End and Co. right behind them. But Panic End still holding on to 4th. Radical's now look down the inside at turn 1. Gets the oh my goodness me. Thankfully Panic End saw that one coming, but respectful from Radical. Gave him just enough room and a bit of piece of paper in excess But Paniken looking to do it towards turn 4, get back ahead. JSY has been boxed in by the Red Bull. Gets a slight tag up the rear. Paniken back and forth. Literally back and forth, and now back into 4th place.
Yeah, I don't know if Paniken will see that turn 1 move the same as us in the commentary box. He did go a little bit deep, did Radical, just probably about was good enough. Oh, I think he might have been tagged there a little bit from JSY. Going there out of the hairpin, and JSY is all over the back of him through sector 2. It almost looks like Radical is running a bit lesser wing, and he's got a bit more speed on the straights because he's really getting caught up through sector 2 by everyone. And now once again we're going to see a slingshot. Are we back through for P4 for Radical? 7/10 is the gap, and I think on this occasion he might be a bit too far back actually on Panic End. I don't know, it's going to be tight. I don't think he's going to have the pace on this occasion. No, he's not. And Panic End's gone wide. He's gone wide as Panic End, and JSY also gone wide there as well. Here comes now Jay Undisputed. Look at him from 16th on the grid. Now we're going to have a go at Radical. Is he going to go up into P5? On this occasion, no, he's not. On this lap, Panic End keeps that 4th place.
Just no more, but that gap is 2.3 seconds between Button and Panic End. All this fighting, and I think it's now going to be a case of who's going to end up in 4th, because ideally Panic End will want to finish ahead of Radical and close that gap, albeit slightly in the standings. As it is, the gap will be 14 points between these two as we head to the final round. As I'm going to crunch some more numbers, Mondo will be on 18 points, that is going to be 75. Radical will end up on 104. So as it is, Mondo's title hunt is done. He needs to win. Novus, his title hunt was over before the evening, but will want to end off on a high. So we'll jump back up to this fight for 2nd place. And the slingshot once again for Button, to and fro. I want it back, says Button. He's up again into 2nd place, but a 3-second penalty. And like you said earlier, Monkey Boy Kurt, the track invalidations are starting to show.
Yeah, they definitely will do, and this is the thing now, is Jay Undisputed, Aviation, JSY going through on Jay again, and these places are just chopping and changing all the time. Button now also back ahead of Mongo, but we've just seen that he's got that 3-second penalty to his name, and everything's going to start changing now. Oh, and look at that, I think Jay's had a mistake there coming out of turn 4, because now Sheriff Woody's passed as well. I'm just going to actually have a quick look at Panic End and Radical. I'm going to see what they've got. So it looks like Panic End is on his last warning for track limits, and in terms of Radical, it looks like he might be on his last warning as well here. So they've both got to be very careful, otherwise they will see a 3-second penalty coming their way very shortly.
As we're going to start lap 25, we've got 12 laps left of this Tier 3 Brazilian Grand Prix. There was Mondo again looking for a move on Button. He's thought about it this time and is not going to make the move. Both of them are doing what they have to do and pulling away from the pack behind, but Novus Owadia is still pulling away from them. That's now nearly 4 seconds between the Sauber and the Williams. As there was Mondo looking again for a move, not quite, as our audience of one has returned to the commentary box. I appreciate that, Cruzadoro. As Panic End still holding on from Radical, JSY, and there's a little pack of cars here. Nothing major. Just everyone else left in this race. Panic End, Radical, JSY, Sheriff Woody, J Undisputed. Destroyer in the points in his first outing, be satisfied with that. And Sid Sandwich in the points as well in 10th. Locker still soldiering on for the moment, but we'll see what happens afterwards for the Red Bull driver, because both of them ideally a double points finish, but Button being up in 2nd place. I think if you're Locker, you need to try and get up towards maybe 7th place or even 6th, just to limit that damage.
Here goes Radical now. Let's see if he can get past the car to Gary to take this for us for turn 1.
Yeah, as Radical looks to, is he going to do the Ricardo line? No, he's going to go to the outside. It's always a bit dangerous. You can hit the outside curve. Panic End for the squeeze him. Radical didn't really want to take the risk, but he's going to try and set himself up through the centre S's, right down into turn 4. Obviously, hopefully we don't see anything naughty mind games, but it looks like Radical just gets a nice clean move and is already passed for the braking zone. And
that is now back in 4th place for Radical, and might be the best he's going to get this race. but we'll see what happens because there's still plenty of time to go. We've got 11 laps left at Interlagos, and Sheriff Woody I saw thinking of a move there on JSY. He's going to go for a move on Panic End, try and back him up a little bit more, but there goes Sheriff Woody, and JSY looking for a move, has now lost the place, and J Undisputed has been caught up in that, is now down 3 places himself. So that's now put Destroyer up in 8th. At one stage he was last in this race, is now up in the points himself.
Yeah, no, Destroyer's going well at the moment. He's going to obviously gain positions if it stays like this as well on Aviation JSY and Sheriff Woody. So we'll see him himself go up to 6th at the moment. So he's having a good comeback, it has to be said. Didn't have a great quali, didn't have a great start to the race, but he's going okay so far in this second half of this Grand Prix. And just needs to keep with this pack, and he'll do very well. As now Panic In now, well, we're going to see him go back past, and he's now past Aviation, is Destroyer, but here goes Panic In, now back past Radical. Radical's got the straight line speed to stay ahead, but it looks like on that last occasion he did back out of it, and gives Panic In the place, probably going to get the DRS on the next lap again. We're seeing as well with Nova Suaga up in first, so we've got a yellow flag out. And that's Aviation, that's JSY, it's wrong, it's gone round, and that's a virtual safety car. Now, virtual safety car, I don't think it's going to go to a full safety car. Now, Novus here, I mean, if you're Novus, you've got a 5-second lead. Do you come in and go on softs? It'd be a big gamble, but, I mean, I don't know. He's got a lead there, but...
The problem is how quickly you get ahead of that midfield, because they are so close. And there's your answer. The answer is no. He stays out. Button, I would imagine, stays out along with Mondo. And yeah, I think everyone else is going to stay out unless Panic End giving us a little something to think about there. As it looks like that is Sid Sandwich who's going to take their pit stop under the VSC and get a 10-second for their troubles.
Oh, that's not a great. Oh, and Aviation as well.
And JSY too. That's it for JSY.
It's not great, is it? To come in and get a free stop and then you get a 10 seconds for it.
Well, as far as I see it, this is now quite possibly a points finish for David Lawface. As a Tattoo Star did pit for softs, but is a little bit too far behind to be in much contention. But as it is now, we're back underway. This is now if Button and Mondo can close the gap up to Nova Suaga, but more so for Mondo, can he take the victory due to the fact he doesn't have any penalties? He needs to keep the slate clean, but keep up with Button, as he's not going to. He's going to need to try and get back in that DRS window of 1 second, otherwise Button will have broke free. He's at 1 second, it's over. Button's broke the DRS. And now, can Button pull the 3-second gap to the Ferrari?
Well, Mongo is trying to catch up with his battery. He's already rinsed it down to 10%, but he won't want that coming now, obviously, into the latter stages. He'll want to have as much battery as possible, and now he's going to have to try and find some place where he can actually reload that battery, recharge it up. And 1.1, I think now this might be a case of can they catch Novus, and surely those tyres are going to drop off, as now Radical and Panic M once again side by side. On this occasion, look at Destroyer, he's coming through now into 6th place, and there's a bit of wheel bang there between him and Sheriff Woody, and he's up on the curb, and it's very, very tight there between the Haas and the Aston Martin, but it's just about okay between those two in the end. And Destroyer is looking quite actually, Joe, he's looking very, very good in this last stage of the race. And potentially, if he gets past Sheriff Woody, could he have a go at these two championship contenders of Panic End and Radical? We'd love to see it, but I'm not too sure at the moment, as Mongo in 3rd place. Once again, he's made a little mistake there. 1.9 seconds now, 2 seconds is the gap between him and Mongo's. Oh no, I thought he was going to come in then. He's really cut that corner a lot there. But what, 2.1 seconds to Button? That means he's now 5 seconds behind Novus at the moment. I'm not sure if Mongo's going to win this. He really needs to get a move on.
Also, I just want to notice that with that mistake, Radical was about 6.5 seconds behind. He's only 5.4, so Radical is actually gaining on Mongo.
7 laps to go into Interlagos, and everything is starting to happen now. But Novus and Button, 3 seconds between them. but Novus is in full tyre management mode. Button needs to, yeah, I think you can do the sums. 7 laps to go and a gap of 3.5 seconds. You do the maths. But Mondo can keep ahead of this pack behind him. Radical leading the charge with Panic End, Sheriff Woody, Destroyer in their opening race, looking to take currently 6th place in the standings in the race results. Jay Undisputed on a comeback drive from the back of the grid. Lockers in a score points, but who'll pick up the final point? Will it be Sid or David or even a Tattoo Star going for broke and trying to get a points finish around Interlagos? As Mondo, in all honesty, I think Mondo's race is over. He's dropped out even further behind Button. It's now 5.3 seconds between Mondo and Novus. As it was panicking under pressure from Sheriff Woody, who gets shown the grass there by the McLaren driver, and Destroyer says, thank you very much, I'll take 6th place. Panicking is a little bit naughty there from the McLaren.
He moved over in the braking zone right into Sheriff Woody's path, and now Sheriff Woody's going to be under attack from Locke, who's going to gain another place.
That's 8th place there for Locker, but can his internet hold out to take 7th? He's just about in range there of Jay Undisputed. But I tell you what, Destroyer's putting in a good showing here. They're not stable qualifying, but an even better race. He's going to look for a move on Panic End in towards turn 8. Certainly not shy of bravery is the Aston Martin driver. Got his tail up and is now might potentially break this DRS here between the Panic End and Radical. If you're Radical now, again, more live points tallies. Radical getting 4th place is 12, that is 106 points. Panic End is going to have 88 points, so a difference of 18 points between Radical and Panic End. As I'm going to crunch more
Destroyer.
Button. As we'll have a look at this, as Gary says, looking at Destroyer making the move on Panic End. Panic End now down to 6th place. Destroyer, 5 laps left to go, is having a fantastic opening race here.
Yeah, he's going really, really well, and I think he can even push on here and try and catch the championship leader in the next couple of laps. Could he get 4th place on his debut? That'd be absolutely fantastic for the Aston Martin. He's driving the Aston Martin tonight anyway. But Panic End, yeah, that move on Sheriff Woody, I think, yeah, I don't know if he's been that smart there. He could potentially see a penalty coming his way at the end of the race if Sheriff Woody feels like he needs to put that in. But Button obviously is currently up in 2nd, just trying to get clear of 3 seconds to Mongo. Then he'll be up to a net set. Well, he will be 2nd, but Radical has just got to try and keep his position now as he now comes through the final corner. Does he have a 2nd on Destroyer? And the answer is no. Destroyer will have the DRS here. So will Panic End, so will Jay, and will Jay go past Panic End again on this occasion? I don't know if he's going to, he's looking at it, but on this occasion, no, he will not. But Destroyer now 5 tenths behind Radical, and he's looking like he's sizing Radical up here, and I reckon he's going to possibly take him now into turn 4. Is he close enough? 3 tenths is the gap.
Mongo. And
Mongo's got a 3 seconds, and that means now Button surely now just needs to try and get... Well, no, he's just not catching Novus. Novus is taking these tyres immensely well. And at the moment, we look at the penalties, they're all on 3 seconds. Novus is actually now going to end up winning this race. 2.7 seconds is the gap to Button with about 3 laps left to go.
I don't know how he's held on to those tyres for so long.
Let's have a look how long it is. 22 laps for the Sauber driver. And he's only, as I said at Baku, he's only had 1 victory this season, and that was a sprint race around Montreal. We might be seeing an 8th different winner in 9 races. Albeit it's a little bit too late for the Sauber to get that maiden win. But I suppose if you're going down in the championship, you're going down swinging. As Dark Destroyer throwing all the punches here at Radical, a championship leader. Destroyer now around the outside at turn 1. Panic End is going to try and defend from Jay, and is going to do so. Radical forces Destroyer a little bit tighter around turn 2. Now around turn 3, Radical get the DRS back. That's allowed Panic End though to close up. But Radical holds on for the moment and knows that this Aston Martin could be the downfall of this championship, but also a saviour to himself and extend his championship lead, albeit not by much. But right now for Radical, it is more than enough.
This is reminding me a lot of yesterday with Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri fighting and allowing Sergio Perez to come back into the fight, obviously before his crash with Carlos Sainz, and that's literally what's happening here. Radical and Destroyer battling, and it's allowing Panic N to come back as far as Radical's
Radical's
off,
gone
and a
wide!
3-second penalty, and that's not what Radical wanted. He's now down to 7th, and he will not gain any places. Panic N is up to 5th. And Panic N now needs to stay within the DRS of Destroyer. Destroyer's gone wide there as well, out of the last corner, and Panic N now needs to get on the DRS and the battery, and surely now going into the final lap needs to try and take advantage of this, because if he can get P4 and Radical's down in P7, he'll gain more places. But Button's loving this as well. Can Panic N try now and get through into P4? And that is a massive mistake for Radical. Only with a couple of laps to go, a 3-second penalty and going off, that's really affected potentially the championship going into the final round.
Locker's up to 8.
Locker getting back ahead of Sheriff Woody, but as it stands, Radical will still be on 100 points, and if I'm correct, Button will be on 90 points, Panic N will be on 88. So if Panic N gets ahead of Destroyer on this final lap, as we're going to approach the final lap in just a few moments' time, Panic N and Button will be tied on 90 points. As it stands though, Radical will have a 10-point gap heading to the final round, and as Nova Suada starts their final lap of this Interlagos circuit, he is checked out at the front, 3.8 seconds, and a perfect display in tyre management. Started on the softs, took the hit early, started to fall down the order, and this race really fell into place for him when his strategy, dependent on a safety car, had that safety car in question, and from then he has never looked back. He fought his way to the lead and has ran away ever since. The Sauber hasn't had much luck this season, one victory to his name, a couple of points here and there, but it's going to be a maximum haul for the Sauber driver, the Ferrari of Mondo. I think this title is going to still mathematically be possible for them, but 15 points puts him on, if I'm correct, 72, and actually tell a lie, that is not enough for Mondo, so that title will be ended tonight. But Novus couldn't really fault him, to be honest. Water this way from him, but we'll keep an eye out on Panic N and Destroyer on the run to the line. But we'll give Nova Suada the lap of honour he deserves, and a fantastic drive for the Sauber. Nothing's gone his way, everything's fell his place tonight. He might not win the title, but he's going to take his first victory of the season around Interlagos. Nova Suada, 8 winners in 9 races for Tier 3. Button takes second, Mondo takes third. Destroyer is going to take 4th place in their debut race. Take a bow. As it was G undisputed on the victory line, so was Radical for that matter. Radical pips J. Radical's pipped J on the line by 4 thousandths of a second. Those 2 extra points enough for Radical. Extends his lead to 12.
That is crucial. That could be the crucial 2 points that helps him win this championship. It might not be, but it may well be going into Abu Dhabi. But getting that extra 2 points definitely is going to help Radical. But he will still be kicking himself for the mistake that he made. He had P4 and he made the mistake and threw it away down to P6 in the end. But it was good to get that last position. But Button gets 2nd place, and I believe that puts Button onto 90 points. I believe that puts Panic N up to 88 points. And if I'm correct in thinking, Radical will go with 6th. I don't know how many points you get for 6th. Is it 8 points? So 102. So it's going to be, it's going to be a very interesting last round of the season. We're all to play for still.
That's it, Will, but we're thinking about the now. And Nova Suada picking up their first victory despite a 3-second penalty, and had a few eyebrows raised at one stage. Button and Mondo 2nd and 3rd this evening. To be fair, the top 3 are class of their own, but Nova Suada outshining all the rest around Interlagos. Destroyer in their first race takes 4th, and to be fair, no faults from them. They drove a very fine race indeed. Panic N takes 5th. Vicelero Radical pit J undisputed at the line to take 6th, in which the RB will finish 7th. Locker, recovering from internet issues, will take 8th. Sheriff Woody will take 9th. And 6th Sandwich rounds out the points in 10th. David and the Tattoo Star with the fastest lap at least. And our 4 DNFs this evening: Wizard of Oz, Magic Ram, Rainbow, and Aviation JSY. As, yeah, I'm not going to get by. I'm not going to stroll through this race director within 8 seconds. I'll try though.
Yeah,
Come on!
he's put in the
3
chat.
seconds!
Yeah, he's put in the chat. I'm out the championship fight by 4,000ths of a second.
Oh, Jay. Well, suppose you do have that victory to your name around Kota, so no one will take that away from you. As for our top 3, I can't get obviously can't get Novus in due to them being on PlayStation, but we'll try and get Button and Mondo in.
Mongo doesn't usually do these.
Well, therefore it'll be Button, and I'll see if I can get a word from Novus via Discord.
Jay has put to Radical in the Discord chat. Sneaky move, bro.
Apologies for that, but head to the showroom and we'll get the Ferrari up on stream. Oh look, Superior Car RB. Oh, Gary, I hope you've done your practice because we take on it in Lados on Wednesday, 8 PM UK time on the 18th of September before our Tier 1 drivers take to the track on the 20th of September. And I know, at least to my knowledge, the Tier 2 round can be wrapped up as well. Actually, I'll look at our Tier 2 standings real quick because I have such authority to do so. As we just wait for any further invites to go out and anything else that's said to be said. And if I'm correct, indeed I am. Midfield Maestro can steal the title on Tuesday, so we'll see what Tier 2 has to offer. He needs to basically bag 8th place, and the title is his. And as for our Tier 1 championship, it's been a 2-horse race, a class above the rest, for O2W Hound and our reigning champion Reese. No one has ever took back-to-back crowns in FPRL. Reese is hoping to do that, but Hound having a very healthy advantage over the Mercedes.
I'm going to rechange that statement. Object Funded did it.
No, Object Fullness is a 2-time champion. He didn't do it back-to-back.
I swear he did it back to back.
No, he won it in Season 4 and Season 6. Season 5, Ads won it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Ads with the Z.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, it can't be Crackle Ads. There's no chance Crackle Ads is going to win a Tier 1 title. Be honest.
Shades thrown.
Well, you agree with me, Monkey.
I do, to be fair.
Well, seems like there's not going to be any interviews this evening, so we'll get the Williams up on stream for Button. He's gave himself a chance at the title, but 12 points between himself and championship leader Radical. As we'll head to the Haas. Actually, not to the Haas. Monkey Boy Kurt, admire the Haas on stream. Let's head to the Aston Martin. And actually, no, not the Aston. Oh my god! Right, I want to end the stream now. The Sauber. What?
What?
Well, you know what? Do you know what? The Aston Martin goes to my vote for driver of the day. That's who I would vote, but it's you know what? You two need to debate driver of the day now. Ha ha ha. But
well,
for the Sauber driver of Nova Suarga, congratulations to them. And that is going to be it for our penultimate round in the Tier 3 Championship for Season 8. And I'll let the fight commence. Silverside Boy, Monkey Boy Kurt, who's your driver of the day?
I'll let Monkey say first.
It's out of 2 drivers. We'll say that it's out of 2 drivers. And
if it's two separate drivers, I'll have the deciding vote of the 2.
Well, I mean, we'll see what Gary thinks as well. But it's got to be out of Nova Suarga, definitely for pole position and for taking those mediums 25 laps. And he kept it, to be fair to him. You know, he didn't lose any time to anyone behind him. So he's got to be up there. But also Destroyer coming up from miles back in qualifying. Had a really, really sort of not so great start to the race and just came through the field, found a new lease of life on those hard tyres. Got to be out of one of those 2. I'm going to see what Gary thinks of it. Gary.
I can't unmute a mic for some reason. My mute button got stuck. Yeah, I probably agree with those two drivers as well. I was about to say it's going to be either Destroyer or Uwaga, Novus. I'm just going to go for the race winner. I think 25 laps on mediums. I don't think I've ever seen anyone go that long and not get a puncture. I did see someone asking how long those tyres were. How long centres were. He hasn't answered, but surely they're above 70%. So yeah, I'd probably go for Novus.
Well, so we'll say boy votes for Novus. Novus Uwaga, a race winner. Monkey Boy Kurt, what about you?
Well, I mean, yeah, either of them are deserving of it, so I will go with Novus for taking those tyres the length he did. But big shout out to Destroyer, great first race for him.
There we go, a unanimous agreement on the Totoms, that's a rare one. So, Novus Uwaga, driver of the day, but an honourable mention to Destroyer Drac for what was described as stellar opening round, or opening event for them in FPRL, and as I say, that's going to be it. But before we do though, be sure to tune in this week on what could be championship deciding races around Interlagos before the final round of season 8. We head off from Interlagos to the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. And if you guys want to compete in FPRL, be sure to join our Discord server. Nightbot drops a link in our Twitch chat on twitch.tv/FP Racing League. Hit the link to our Discord server, complete the sign up steps, and we'll get you on track for the build up to season 9. We'll find out soon enough. And our social medias, our YouTube channel, FP Racing League under the same banner and name, and our X account, formerly Twitter, FairPlayRL, under that user handle and the same channel logo. But that is going to be it from me and our Totomentators this evening. First off, Silverside Boy.
Hi, hello, bye.
Hi, bye, fair enough. And Monkey Boy Kurt.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give it a bit more. Hi, bye. Come on, Gary. You got to give the viewers a bit more than that. So, I just want to say thank you everyone for watching. Please tune in next week for our championship finale in this tier, which has been thrilling all season. Will Radical take the championship, or will it be one of the other championship contenders? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, no, thanks everyone for joining.
And that has been true. This has been Cruiser 1872. Thank you all very much for watching, and from all this here at FPRL, good night.